what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And my friends, we have yet another amazing guest here. Two guests, actually, this morning. They're returning guests. And they are also going to be speaking at our mastermind. And this is going to be just a mastermind for to be remembered. I mean, this is going to be a big, really fun, really exciting mastermind. And these two ladies are two of the reasons why that is. So we'll get into a little bit more. There are still mastermind tickets available. You can go pick one up at legendarymarketer.com/enroll. You can see our other products, and down at the bottom, an opportunity to click a link to go get a ticket. But let's get these ladies in here, because that's what today is all about. Brandi and Sandra, welcome back to Wake Up Legendary. How are you, ladies?
We are amazing. How
Hi,
are
Dave.
you?
Hi, community.
Yes.
We're so
You
excited
ladies.
to be with you.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. Last time I didn't get a chance to interview you. I don't believe something came up. I can't remember what it was, or maybe we did. I can't remember. There was some sort of way in which I wasn't able to talk to you guys. Well, isn't that the case?
We were
Didn't
actually with
Joanne?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joanne. I think you had something with family.
Something going on. I mean, we've had a few things going on here in the last few months with hurricanes and flooding. But are you ladies excited to come to Austin and speak on stage? Will this be your first time doing something like that?
Yes.
Yes.
We're so excited, nervous, terrified,
Yes.
excited.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
So tell us your story. Tell us, just for those who don't know who you two are, how you know each other. Tell us who you are, why you started doing this in the first place, and just give us a little snapshot of kind of what brought you here.
Okay. Well, since Brandi wants me to speak, I'm her mom. So I'm Sandra. This is Brandi. Loving my life. And we're super close. So we just love to travel. And it really came about, in a sense, from when we first joined Legendary, which was a year and 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had an anniversary here. And so when we decided to do Legendary, we had one idea about how we were going to build a business. And it's sort of evolved over the first few months. And the next thing we know, we really had something that resonated with us that allowed us to travel all the time. And so we started house and pet sitting. And so that's how we ended up with this business. And we're loving it because we're just traveling all over the place and meeting amazing people along the way, adorable pets along the way, even though we weren't pet people to start with. It's amazing how it changed. So.
Wow. So tell us how you're using internet marketing and the skills that you learned here to grow that business. Tell us how that works together and how you've ended up taking things to a different and new level because of either the skills or the strategies that you learned and are implementing.
Well, it's really interesting because when we first got started, we were taking all the classes, we got the blueprints, we were in it, we were doing all the things. And it just felt like we were working so hard and nothing was really moving. Like there wasn't any traction yet. And when we started house sitting, pet sitting, and I started documenting it and talking about it, all of a sudden there was a shift. And it was kind of like before I even realized it, I was utilizing the tools we were learning from Legendary in our adventure. And so we pivoted everything. We changed our handle on Instagram and our platforms. And it just became about our journey, our adventure doing this and things we were learning along the way. And as we started sharing more about that, our numbers started going up. We started getting more people inquiring and asking questions. And before we knew it, we were like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is what Dave was talking about. When you just show up, authentically, when you just share what's going on in your world, that's how you build an online business.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And how do you see, with this shift, because you essentially have the same opportunity, right, that you had before, but it was like suddenly you saw something happened and you saw things differently. I want to, it's always about asking a question in the way to get the most powerful answer, but I feel like there's so many people that need that same shift. How do you create the change? How do you throw enough spaghetti at the wall? I mean, your spaghetti looks different than the next person's spaghetti, right? But you still came to the conclusion of figuring out how to keep going, evolve, pivot, and finally find your voice, your audience, and start to create content and market yourself in a way that you're excited about. And so, what do you think people need to do or see? It's not really see. What do they need to do if they want to break themselves free? If they're feeling like, oh, I'm not also catching traction, and I'm feeling frustrated. How would you advise them to navigate that particular phase?
Well, honestly, I mean, for me, I knew this was going to be it. Like, it was just a matter of time and a matter of me or us figuring out what it was going to look like. So we were committed, and it really took us stepping back and not pushing so hard and really being open to, like, maybe this niche isn't it. Maybe this isn't it. Okay, well, let's keep working at it. Let's keep trying something different. And just not being afraid to take a step back. It's okay to take a day off, to get off of social media for a day and just kind of regroup. And one of the things I know that I kept hearing a lot from other people you would interview was when they stopped following everybody, when they stopped inundating themselves with all the other noise out there, then they were actually able to find their own voice. And I didn't understand that before, but it's so true. It's actually very powerful in itself, because it's easy to fall into that trap of, like, oh, I'm just going to do the exact same thing this person is doing and get the exact same result. And that's not the case. And it really needs to resonate with you. It really needs to be your story. And I think in the beginning, we were telling everyone else's story. And not our own.
Yeah, and it was very difficult. And I remember somewhere along the way, probably a few months ago, Brandi said, this is working because we can get to be ourselves. We don't have to try and pretend to be something that we aren't. And it's a struggle. And not realizing how difficult the trip is. But once we were able to just be ourselves and just, kind of highlight what we're doing, everything changed. Yeah, and our numbers didn't grow really fast. But the thing is, we have good quality followers.
Yeah.
That really engage with us. So it's not about big numbers. It's about quality followers.
Sure. Quality, like the type of people you are.
Yeah.
Just gave me a great opportunity to plug you two. This is fascinating in how you've, you ladies are so innovative and so creative, and what you're doing is really so cool. And it may even be, what I see here is a way for you to come back and probably do what you were ultimately trying to do in the beginning, which was sell maybe some courses or sell, right? That's what we teach. We teach how to sell information, right? We teach how to sell courses, coaching, events, or do affiliate marketing. What you did was, you started this house sitting and then realized, wow, this is something that I'm doing that I could actually share with people, that I could actually then teach people how to do. And it's a business opportunity. What I wonder if you realize is that you're still working in the wealth space. You're still working in the make money or business building space, because you're essentially pitching them a business opportunity, right? You're pitching them a bit. I know you think you're in the dog niche, and that's cool. You kind of are, but also who are you trying to look at? You're trying to capture people's attention who are interested in starting some sort of a business and who, right?
I actually hadn't realized that. You realized that?
Yeah,
Right. So here what I see the opportunity what I see the opportunity here for you ladies is it's more than just being able to make this about dogs. This is about being able to take this business model that you're developing, and certainly this is not a totally new idea. I've heard of house sitting and these businesses are popping up, but are they being done as effectively as you're doing them now because you know these skills and because you have these skills? No, they're not. And so you have an opportunity now, because there are going to be tons of people who are going to start following you because they're also interested in having a business where they can travel, all the things that you've just described, and you're able to now reach these people because you're sharing content online. There's going to be a lot of people who end up not buying this, not following through with it, or buy it and have a good experience. And then you're going to say in 3 or 6 months down the road or whenever you want, hey, maybe house sitting wasn't right for you, but here's another business. Here's right. Do you see? This is where the second and third serving come in. It can either be immediately, right? Because if you're promoting your house sitting academy or course, then they need to see that for the first 10 to 14 days or so. Maybe you follow up with them via email for longer than that if you want, but at a certain point, if they haven't bought yet, it's time to move them to a new offer, right? It's time to show them something else. And it's like, well, maybe House Sitting Academy wasn't for you, right? But it's clear that you still want the things that House Training Academy could give you, which is more money, more time freedom, the ability to be able to travel. So have you thought about internet marketing? Right? That's right. So now you get to just shift the conversation, cross-selling them on a new offer that's slightly different, but you already know what they're there for is, as far as I see it anyways. Now, certainly you're going to develop followers that are there just to look at your cute dog pics and enjoy your journey, but you've also got a lot of people who you're mainly targeting, people who would be interested in starting that kind of business, right? So it only makes sense to, whether they start that with you or not, to kind of brand yourself not just as the House Sitting Academy ladies, but also as entrepreneurs who are going to be bringing lots of different skills or business models to their attention over time. House Sitting Academy was really only the first serving in a very long multi-course meal, right?
That is true.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's why I love what you've created here so much, because there's always something new to pick up and reminders. It's like you've given us so much information, so many tools to work with. But when you just come back to the basics, the fundamentals, and just apply that, that's amazing.
Yeah, because I was thinking the same thing, because house sitting, pet sitting is fine. It's not for everyone, but there are people who can look at this and say, oh, this is interesting. I could probably do this. But you also have to have some other things in play. We work remotely, so that allows us the freedom to be able to travel whenever we want to, wherever we want to go. And a lot of people need to get those skills under their belt, especially now when I'm reading in the paper where all these companies want all the employees back in the office.
Yes.
So that freedom to work remotely. It's like, okay, if you don't want to do that, here's an option. And you don't know how to do it, we can teach you how to do it.
And Sandra, you having your ear to the street about what's going on in the real world is so valuable and so important, because you're going to be able to speak your customers' language. What they're struggling with when they go to the grocery store, what they're hearing from their bosses or their companies. Yeah, that's the pain points you want to press on. And it doesn't even have to, think about this, it doesn't even have to be as your marketing other things to people, other opportunities or skill sets for them to learn or develop or try. when they get on your list. It can also be, it doesn't have to be, oh, if house sitting wasn't for you. It can also be, hey, want to know what else I do to create more streams of income on the internet while I'm house sitting? You see what I'm saying? So you begin to tie it, and it's not an either or. You're beginning to teach these people. And I think that's, if I was to assume, right, this is a quick interview. We're doing a quick crap. Like, I just want to help you, ladies. So we're ended up, I'm brainstorming with you here about your business. Just love it. That's just what we're doing here. So we're just running with it. But I think when people get on your list, they're judging you like, oh, like they're probably like, what can they teach me, right? How they are with most people on the internet. And now you start bringing them into this way of thinking and living and running a business. It's completely detached, or making money. Let's not even say running a business. Just you two ladies, mother and daughter, I mean, two different generations. So it like immediately eliminates the excuses of, well, I'm too old, right, for tech stuff, right? So you got so many things going for you to be able to, what you're essentially doing is maximizing the lifetime value of each of your customers by just continuing to tie everything that you market to them kind of back into, well, hey, this is what I also do. This is, because your life is so interesting, you're developing an interesting life that, what do you do when you're sitting in somebody's house and you've played with the dog and they're napping? Oh, you thought I just went and took a nap or got on Netflix? Nah, let me show, and then you may be doing that too. But let me show you how I create another stream of income on the internet, right? So you begin to, that's really such an interesting way to market that I feel you two ladies have at your fingertips. And I'm sure you're already doing a lot of it, but it excites me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you.
What comes up for you around some of these ideas and plans that you have for 2025?
Just opportunities. Just as you've laid out right here, there are so many different places we can go, literally, and with this business, and there's so much more we can educate people about, as well as to open their minds. Like, you're not stuck. There are options out there. There is a way for you to enjoy and experience that time freedom, that location freedom, that financial freedom, whatever it is you're going after, your why. It is possible, and it might look different than your neighbor, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's about what fulfills you.
At the end of the day, that's what's important.
Yeah.
It's like, we can wait every day and say, okay, as soon as I get enough money, I'll do this. Or as soon as this change, I'll do that. And the way life works, you will be standing until you actually go into your grave, basically, because you just have to take that leap. And you have to just let fear step aside and say, I only have this one life, and let me live it the way I want to live it, not how everybody else thinks I should live it. Even when we decide to make this decision to, get rid of our place, sell a lot of stuff, give away, store the difference, and just hit the road. Some people say, now, what are you doing?
Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Is everything okay?
Because it's not the norm.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to step outside that box and do something different, because that's where you find all your joy and your peace and your love. And that's exactly what we found. We've learned a lot of lessons along the way, and we keep learning new lessons and challenges, and we overcome every one, because nothing stays the same.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm ready to run through a wall here. Do you have your presentation and sort of what you're going to be speaking about mostly clear for Austin? Like, what do you plan to bring to people in Austin? How are you feeling about that? I mean, this has got to be I always get nerves going in, and I've been doing this for 15 years, but what do you plan on talking about or teaching or sharing, and how are you feeling?
Yeah, so we're actually going to be talking about the power of collaboration, because that was a huge turning point for us as well when we started sharing what we were doing, our adventures, and just really being ourselves. People started showing up for us and wanting to, like, how can we support you? How can we partner? And it was through that where we, one, didn't feel so alone out in this entrepreneurial world. And then two, being able to piggyback off of other people's audiences, and really coming from a space of how can we support each other? How can what I have support your audience and vice versa? So yeah, we're really excited to share just how that worked for us and give the audience some ideas where they can open up their world a bit and be open to podcasts and Instagram lives and everything. Like, the possibilities are really big out there that can really help you get your message out on a bigger level.
Yeah. Yeah, because doing this business, sometimes it can feel very lonely because you feel
Isolating.
like, and isolated, and you feel like you're in it by yourself and you're struggling in it by yourself. And there's a world of people out there that are available to you if only you know how to reach out to them and we remove the fear of reaching out, because it's like, no, I don't think they're going to help me.
My audience is too small. I'm just getting started.
There's a million excuses and reasons. So it's just like, no, just go for it.
And really coming from a place of how can I serve versus what is this going to do for me, right?
And also, here's what this is going to do for you. That's the power of collaboration that always excites me, is I know that I'm bringing somebody an opportunity. And for me, it baffles me because I never like to approach anybody unless I have a win-win. It's like, for me, it baffles me because I never want to set a problem in somebody's lap. You know what I mean? Like, in that, I think maybe that's this 15 years of entrepreneurship school of hard knocks, where I just realized that, as you become a business owner, you have people who are watching you. And now all of a sudden, you know that you're on display, and how you act is probably how they're going to act. Same way with children. I mean, this is something that it's kind of like, if I could give soon-to-be parents one piece of advice, it's your kids are going to watch you and do what you do. So it's like, I mean, sorry to be Mr. Captain Obvious here, but just remember that, right? And, the same thing with, when I think about collaboration, I get excited about approaching people with a win-win and not putting a problem in their lap, not the number one. In everybody who's listening, comment and tell me if this resonates with you, and you too as well. The number one limiting belief that we bump up against in terms of collaboration or even mentorship is, I don't want to bother them.
Yes.
Yep.
Right? I'm too small, I'm too insignificant, whatever it is, whatever the thought is, however that kind of comes across in your own internal language. But when you're approaching people about collaboration, you're not bothering them. You're not burdening them. You're learning how to not bother people and burden them. Because the truth is that if you go to somebody with only a problem, I'm sorry to say, it is a burden. You have just laid a burden at their feet. Just say it for what it is. It's okay. You're not burdening me as a person, but what you've done here is a burden. You've just laid a burden at my feet. And so obviously, as entrepreneurs and as people who want to be magnetic and want to, we want to gain people's know, like, and trust factor. I love that you're going to talk about that, because such an underdeveloped skill that we have. And whether that's because we're staring at screens, or whether it's just because for boomers and millennials, we just weren't given the proper training of how to communicate, collaborate, approach, propose some sort of a deal or an opportunity, ask. So much of I really think our suffering in life is just simply because we don't ask for what we want or need. But this is so, so we don't get our needs met in our relationships, but we also don't get our needs met in our business. Our business don't, because we don't know how to approach people
Right.
for collaboration. We certainly also don't know how to ask people for the sale either, right? So, I mean, much can be solved by just the skill of learning how to ask. But I think you can ask more confidently when you go to ask somebody if they want to collaborate, when you know you're bringing them a win-win.
Right. Everyone has to bring something to the table, and I think a lot of people just feel like, no, I'm not big enough, or I don't have enough in me, or even feeling worthy of asking someone else, for assistance.
But there's ways to collaborate, and I'm looking forward to those ideas and hearing your story at the event, because we can certainly, it may not be appropriate for somebody brand new to collaborate with somebody who's a veteran with a huge, and that may not make sense, but there's collaboration opportunities. There's 8 billion people in this world. There's tons of people in this community who are looking. There's collaborators. I'm so excited for all of you coming to the events, because we're going to create opportunities, not awkward. Nothing will be forced. If you want to talk about being yourself, don't expect a big corporate shindig from me, because we're gonna have some production, but I'm what you see is what you get. We're not doing a whole, dog and pony show. It's just, this is what it is. Here's the speaker. Let's give them a nice intro. Let's have a nice event. But there's going to be opportunities for people to talk and to connect and to find potential collaborators right at the event.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to bring everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're bringing it all.
Yes.
I know you ladies will. And you always do. Everything that you do, you bring your all. And that's what I am loving about you. I can't wait to get to know you both more and meet you in person. What's your piece of advice for 2025 for people who are, just coming into this and thinking and wondering how big the opportunity is, or if this is still relevant in 2025?
It's still relevant. The key thing you need to remember, it's not going to happen overnight. And you have to have patience. I mean, that's the key. It's like, if it doesn't work out in the first month or two, don't quit. Because once you quit, it's done. And then what are you going to do? You might find something else, but then you're bringing yourself to every opportunity. And if you quit one thing, you'll quit the next. So have some staying power. Stick with it. It will turn around. And if you're open, you never know what new ideas will crop up, and you'll be sailing off into the sunset, happy and joyful. So it's just like, have the patience, stick with it, don't give up.
I second that. Patience is key. Patience is key, and just be open and to try new things. Don't get stuck and like, this has to be it. No, you're blocking your blessings that are trying to come through. Just be open.
And have fun in the process. Because if you're not having fun, you need to find something different.
Yeah, we were not having fun in the beginning.
It felt like work.
Yeah. And the whole reason we got into this was because of the community and what we saw you were creating, and the people that were just finally living the lives that they always wanted. And that was what we wanted for ourselves.
Yeah. And your story brought a whole different perspective to us, because before we had done a number of network marketings, and it's always the same thing. It's like a trigger for me when they say, oh, okay, now you need to build your list. And it's like, oh, build another list. So
I permanently have trauma anytime now anybody mentions a list myself. I just kind of like, have like a little reaction,
Yeah.
A twitch, a list. Holy shit. So like I saw a ghost or something.
It's that's a trigger. Yeah, for sure. I'm just like, I must have goldfish brain, because I joined so many of them with the same results. So it's like, no. And you were so different. You were a fresher breath air, if I said it correctly.
Breath of fresh air.
Yeah. because it was so different. It's like, okay, I can get behind this. I can resonate with this.
Yeah.
This is different. And so we just jumped all in. And I remember when we signed up for the 15-day, I can't remember, Diego,
Mhm.
because we were in the San Diego area. That's why I remember his name. And we would constantly say, okay, give us open up the next lesson, open up the next lesson. Because we were just so excited. And then we did the 15 days, we got the blueprint, and we just kept going.
Yeah.
Doing a decade in a day, that was exciting. So, yeah, so many opportunities, so much to learn.
So dig into the community. It's all there waiting for you.
Yeah.
Well, you ladies are going to bring it, put that piece, that kind of final physical piece together by coming in and actually, internet marketing can feel kind of not even real until you actually meet people. Then it's like, wow, okay, there's like, these people are real. This is not a video game, there's real. And then it's to see not just people that you've looked up to, but other people who have that same determination and are just kind of, needing that community and needing our help, not to complete them, but to help them to really reach inside and realize what they're made of, like you two have. You've had this in you the whole time. This is who you are. And it's amazing when you're able to put the energy in a direction that's productive, and that is all this is about. This is not about people being saved. This is not church friends. This is not therapy. This is just simply trying to teach people how to channel their energy in an entrepreneurial direction with business models that are actually going to produce results, and with marketing strategies, as you said, that you have a real shot of generating some actual customers, not just your brother or your mother. I was actually just talking about my first network marketing story the other day, and I think the people who were in attendance was the girl that I was seeing that day, my mother's best friend, and then some other weird guy who sat by the door the whole time. I don't know why, but maybe I'll tell that story at the event, because there was some gross food things that we were doing up at the front of the room, and I was just thinking, God, I hope I make at least $1 from this event. So I got a pity sale from my mother's best friend. She gave me a pity sale, and that was the start of my career. And here we are, though. All those pieces are stepping stones. They feel like random rocks. But looking back, you really realize that they were stepping stones. So, hey, I can't wait to keep stepping with you two. Okay, so we'll be stepping on down in Austin, and it's going to be great. Looking forward to meeting you both. Thank you for your time today. Stay legendary and travel safely to Austin. Okay.
Okay, will do. Thank you, Dave.
I'll see you soon.
See you, Brandi. Bye-bye, Sandra.
Bye.
All right, my friends, you can find and follow Brandi and Sandra at Wander Wealth Creators, Wander, WANDER. Other two words are spelled exactly how they sound. Wander Wealth Creators, Sandra and Brandi, the mother and daughter duo. And you can meet them both. You can get a photo with them. You can, get their autograph. It's going to be worth something one day. So don't pass up that opportunity. And of course, learn, network, hang out, all the things in Austin on January 31st. It's right around the corner. Many of you are buying your tickets. I see, you buying your tickets over the last couple of days. It's not too late. You can go to legendarymarketer.com/enroll, and there's a link on that page to grab a ticket to Austin. It's going to be a fantastic event. There's just going to be, you're going to see pictures and videos. If you're not there, you're going to have FOMO out the yin yang. You're going to be suffering, and I can't wait to hear about it because truly we will miss you, and I'll actually be sad if you're not there. What else? We will give you, and we have made available some business plan clarity calls for those of you who feel like you're not yet clear about your niche. You're not yet clear about some of the things that Brandi was talking about in terms of their story. Sometimes a conversation or something can help break you free. Of course, we'll tell you about our other products or programs if we think something is a good fit for you, but our goal is to help you to walk away from a 30-minute, we're calling it the Dirty 30 call. So we'll get down and dirty with you in 30 minutes and help you to clarify, crystallize the ideas that are unclear for you, or maybe just straight give you some coaching and tell you what we think you should do. That is what coaching is about. It's not about helping you to come up with your own answer maybe in 10 years, but it is about giving you some direct feedback and tell you what to do. So that is available. If you want to go to legendarymarketer.com/dirty30, those spots are filling up. I know that we had a bunch of people take us up from yesterday's Wake Up Legendary. So if you want a completely free, no obligation, of course, we will tell you about our other products or programs if we think they're a good fit for you, but you walk away from that call with clarity on your business plan and hopefully, keep stepping in the right direction. All right, my friends, that's it for me for today. I've got to go do event planning and things of that nature, CEO stuff, which includes, stuff like sometimes scanning, faxing, cleaning toilets. As a CEO of a company, you do whatever it takes. That's my point, right? It's not always as glamorous as people make it out to be. But you know what? The beauty of owning your own business, they are your own challenges. And you ultimately can decide when you're going to do them, right? And if you want to put them off, well, that's just going to hurt you. If you want to take care of them and keep moving forward, yeah, it's going to be a lot of work at the beginning, but it's going to feel good when you get it done and when you start getting results and you're building something for yourself. So hang in there. Take the advice from the two rock stars today, and of course, go find and follow them at Wander Wealth Creators over on Instagram. Thanks again for that awesome interview, Sandra and Brandi, and the rest of you. Thanks for all the warm love in the comments. As usual, we love you, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Get out of here, my friends. Peace.